Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government will not bail out any failed financial institution.
If all fails and SSL has no money or assets, can Usain Bolt get part or all of his money back? Not indirectly, according to the government, because it will not bail out any banks or financial institutions. And this is why I believe that Usain Bolt may not get all his money back if there are no money from SSL. Are those people that found to have defrauded him? You know what? Let's jet into this story. So welcome to Jet. So first and foremost, before we get into this topic, because I'm about to unravel some of the reasons why Usain Bolt may not get all of his money. Not any of his money, but all of his money. Although Jet wishes that he gets everything back. But before we get there, I would like to give thanks to the Creator, Yahuwah, and to his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Yes, man. And while you're at it, please smash that subscribe button and touch the bell so when I drop a new video, you can get notified. Yes, man. While I hope and pray that Usain Bolt gets all his money back and those people affected, it may not be possible. These are some of the reasons why he may not get all or some of his money back. Now, if the company is insolvent, if the company gone bankrupt and a trustee in bankruptcy is called in to take over the institution because the organization assets or value is far less than what it owes, then a lawsuit will not go anywhere against SSL in this case.
The institution is now insolvent. So what would have to happen is that the trustee in bankruptcy may have to come in, take charge of the institution. Once the trustee in bankruptcy is in charge, then it precludes any lawsuit from being filed against the institution. That's the purpose of it.
While a trustee in bankruptcy were not called in this case, the company SSL attempted to try and wind up the company, man. Yes, man, shut up the company, man, lock it down, and to liquidate assets. Now, liquidation is a process where assets and property of the company are redistributed. So it shares up to shareholders or whoever have shares in the company, and whatever assets they have goes to directors and stuff like that. Very crafty move, man. But according to the Observer, the government stepped in and get a court order and blocked them from doing that. And some could argue that they may wind up the company on the basis that the company is insolvent. And when a company is insolvent, it means that the balance sheet is when, the company does not have enough assets to pay all its debts. And the person or the company may enter bankruptcy. And if a company enter bankruptcy, you cannot make lawsuit against a bankrupt company. And later on, I'll tell you a personal story where I had to step in and claim some money from a company. Yes, man, the company is poor, insolvent, there's no money, there's no cash. Then you only can sue a company to which you have the dealings with, limited liability company. And your risk is just limited to that particular company itself and not the shareholders or the directors as such. And if there are no assets, then you cannot get anything back. And what about insurance? Is your money insured? The company is not mandated, the government can't force the company to insure your money. So with all those two negative cases, then a lawsuit will not recoup or recover any funds. And I'm not sure if SSL is protected by the government protection for financial institutions, particularly banks. The government will give you, or the institution itself, 1,400,000 back if there are certain situations where the bank crashed or whatever the case may be and you lose money. Those are what is guaranteed, perhaps under some sort of governmental insurance scheme. So if the company is insolvent, no assets and so on, will the government step in and rescue Bolt and pay him back some or all of his money?
Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clark says documents reveal that the investment firm has some amount of insurance coverage. He was hesitant to say if the government would be in a position to return the funds lost by Bolt, noting that the same would have to be applied to other investors who have been defrauded. This, Dr. Clark says, would be a significant strain on the public purse.
And the Prime Minister supported that statement by made it clear that he will not bail out any financial institutions.
The Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government will not bail out any failed financial institution. He says such an action would signal to banks and investment firms that they can be negligent and expect state rescue.
But if all fails, man, can Bolt and those lost money can go after the FSC, the regulators, the Financial Services Commission, who failed in their duties to protect his funds.
But in terms of the other entities like the FSC now, that failed to supervise, they could be liable for a civil suit. The negligence. All the person who lost money could sue the FSC. If they have evidence that the institution was in problem and the FSC did not take steps to deal with that, then the FSC would have breached its duty of care to the depositors.
I've looked at a few institutions around the world, regulators that regulate these banks and these financial institutions, and once particularly one that flagged up is the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK, and they've been protected by, they have been given immunity, yes man, from prosecution. I mean, they can be taken to court under a system called judicial review, but generally they've been protected. So I don't know if Jamaica has a similar sort of system to protect the FSC. The FSC is governed under the Board of Commissioners, and there is a tribunal to which you can take the FSC to. But Radio Jamaica put a prominent lawyer who believes that members could go after FSC if they failed in their duty of care in terms of protecting their money and assets. So there's a real possibility that legend of athletics man, Mr. Usain Bolt, may not get back all his money, but we hope he does. Now, here is the little story that I promised you earlier on. I had to defend a case for someone who, in terms of breach of contract, and when I went to court and fought the case and won the case, the judge says, yes, you should get back a certain amount of money. And the man claims that there is no money in the business and the business is winding up, and similar to what SSL attempted to do. And he said that, well, you can't make blood out of stone, pretty much. And I had to hire a recovery person, the sheriffs, the bailiff, to kind of go off the company. And after doing a search, I realized that the guy was closing down the company. And if the company is closed, there is no way of us recovering the money. So luckily, before the company gone busted, organizations can be and can do when they don't want to pay back money. Yes, man. So there you have it. Let's campaign for Usain Bolt and others to get their money back, man. Touch the like button, man, to show that you're voting for Usain Bolt to get back his money. Yes, man. But we hope that it's not some of it, but all of it. And we hope they are assets, and we hope it works out the best for all of them. So write your comments, man, and let's have a debate below, man. In your comments, write, return back Usain Bolt and others' money. So for those of you forgotten to subscribe, please remember to touch the like button, smash the subscribe button, and touch up the bell. And remember to share with friends and family. So here we are, we're going to jet off,